All right, take a look at our story here. The title of this passage is Memories of School. Paragraph 1. In October 1879, I left my home in what the people of the United States would later call the state of South Dakota. I joined more than 80 other Lakota boys and girls, boarded a train, and traveled to Carlisle, Pennsylvania. I was part of the first class at the Carlisle Indian Industrial School. The trip to Pennsylvania was quite thrilling, but I was uneasy. We thought what we would learn at this new school would help us protect our people and our lands. But the history of violence and distrust between the Lakota and the people of the United States cast a long shadow over the whole group. We arrived in Carlisle near midnight, but we were greeted at the train station by a huge crowd of festive townspeople. Our walk to the school was like a parade, and it lifted my spirits. When I saw the actual school, the school was an old military fort. It looked brutal and unfriendly at night. We were taken to our new home in what was called the old barracks. Right away, we all had to take baths. I sat in a large metal tub filled with water as hot as a rock in the summer afternoon. Even though the hour was late, the bath felt wonderful after the long train ride. All too soon, we had to get out and don our uniforms. My uniform was an ugly gray thing with a high-collared skirt, a high-collared shirt, and wide suspenders. To this day, I hate suspenders. The girls' uniforms were even worse. Long, heavy dresses with tight tops and high collars. Paragraph 4. What came next was very distressing. The school people lined up all the boys and cut our hair. For many of us, short hair was a sign of mourning, and you only cut your hair when somebody died. When it was my turn, I closed my eyes. I heard the scissors snapping away. Most of the boys took it as a sign of disrespect. Classes began the next day, and to my surprise, I found that I enjoyed them. Most of my teachers were kind, and I learned many things. I studied reading, writing, and arithmetic in the morning, and carpentry and other trade skills in the afternoon. As the year went on, we were joined by students from other tribes. There were Cheyenne, Kiowa, Pawnee, and Apache students. Discipline was strict. The founder of the school, General Richard Pratt, was an Army officer, and he used his military experiences to help organize life at the school. We were placed into squads and companies in the same way that the Americans organized their army. If we were accused of breaking a serious rule, we were put on trial before the other students. It was forbidden to speak anything but English. At night, in the dormitory, the students would break the rule. We would whisper to each other in our native tongues. I did not graduate from Carlisle. Very few students ever did. Over the years, more than 10,000 students came to Carlisle. Less than 200 ever graduated. In my case, I was called home by my father. While I was off at school, learning what the American teachers thought I should know, American soldiers attacked 2 tribes of Lakota at Wounded Knee Creek. My father no longer trusted teachers from the United States. In early days of January 1891, I rode the train back home. Question number 1. Which phrase from paragraph 1 signals that this passage is told in the first person? Which of these lines is evidence that this passage is told in first person? A, the people of the United States would later call the state of South Dakota. B, trip to Pennsylvania was quite thrilling. C, what we would learn at this school could help us. D, distrust between the Lakota and the people of the United States. Number 2. In paragraph 3, what is suggested by the phrase hot as a rock in the summer sun? A, the sun was used to heat the water. B, the water was extremely warm. C, the water was kept warm by heated rocks. D, the metal tub was too hot to touch. Three, this question has 2 parts. First, answer part A, then answer part B. Part A. What makes the boys' haircutting a key event in this passage? A, it made all the boys look alike. B, it went against some of the boys' traditions. C, it took place on the first day they were there. D, it only happened to the boys from certain tribes. Why is the boys getting a haircut a key event important to the story? Part B. Which 2 phrases from the passage best support the answer in part A? You're going to choose 2 correct answers here. Which 2 support part A? A, what came next? B, very distressing. C, lined up all the boys. D, heard the scissors snap away. E, sign of deep disrespect. You're choosing 2. 4. What detail from the story describes how students tried to protect their cultural traditions? Which of these details shows that they wanted to keep safe who they were and what culture they were from? A, our walk to the school was like a parade. B, we had to get out and don our uniforms. C, we were placed into squads and companies. D, we would whisper to each other in our native tongues. Which one of these describes how they tried to keep their own cultural traditions? Flip it over, back page, number 5. How would the passage likely be different if the story were told by a different young Lakota man attending the school? How might a different Lakota man tell this story differently from his perspective? A, the second boy would have different feelings. B, the second boy would follow different tribal customs. C, the second boy would study different subjects. Or D, the second boy would wear different kind of clothing. 6, Use the dictionary entry to answer the question. Which definition of dormitory is used in paragraph 6 of the passage? I'm going to go back and look at paragraph 6. Go with me. I'm going to look for the word dormitory. I see it's actually in the very bottom of paragraph 6, second to last sentence. At night in the dormitory.
Harper, go to your mom's room. Harper, Astral, go to your mom's room.
At night in the dormitory, the students would break the rule. We would whisper to each other in our native tongues. I'm going to go back to my question. Dormitory. 1, large room for sleeping that contains many beds. 2, a building where college students live. 3, a section of a convent or monastery consisting of small cells where the residents sleep. Or 4, this is a British definition, community whose residents commute for work to a nearby city. Which definition of dormitory is used in paragraph 6 of the passage? Definition 1, definition 2, definition 3, or definition 4. Number 7. In paragraph 5, the I in surprise is pronounced like the I in which of these words? Swim, alike, uniform, stiff. Number 8. In paragraph 7, the first syllable of the word over has the same vowel sound as which word? Home, long, school, custom. Go back over your answers, double check, and then turn this in. Thank you.